those of you are what you are just beginning want to be when you grow up. And let me start with Keba Konte with Chase. And I'm going to read this. With Chasing Lions Cafe. This is the most recent VEDC client that I want to introduce to you. Keba started with the Gorilla Cafe, opening its doors in the famous gourmet ghetto of North Berkeley in 2006, and continued to survive and thrive in 2012, which is why Keba and Rachel Konte, part owners of the Gorilla Cafe, wanted to duplicate their business model and open a second location under the name Chasing Lions Cafe. They found the perfect location at the City College of San Francisco and the new multi-use building located on Phelan Avenue. The new growth of the west side of the campus needed food and beverage options, and Conte's people were happy to sign on to bring the Chasing Lions Cafe to campus. He's done that. He's done that with help from the SBA, from VEDC. We congratulate them, and we want to know a little bit of his story. Keba.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Keba Konte. It's really good to be here. Thank you so much for having us. And yeah, so I would like to talk a little bit about my experience. I started the Gorilla Cafe in 2006. Now, that's a long time ago. And back in those days, there was something called equity that some people had in their house. So I was able to start this business with a partner. We were both homeowners, fortunately, and we took out some of that equity, and instead of buying a boat, we invested it into a cafe in North Berkeley. We took over historic Smokey Joe's Cafe. It was a vegetarian cafe since 1974. We called it the Gorilla Cafe, and really it was based on, you know, the guerrilla art. We were artists, we were designers, we, you know, knew how to bring people together, have a good time, make good food, and so we figured, of course, we could, you know, have a cafe, a restaurant, food service. That's all it really takes. So that was sort of easy money, and the problem with easy money is that you don't really have to work for it. We didn't have to prove our concept, so we just got that money and we invested. Honestly, we didn't even complete our business plan. But somehow, you know, we just believed in ourselves and we worked our tails off. The community was very receptive. We had, you know, a lot of great ideas, and we filled some niche markets in that area. And so fast forward 6 years later, another tremendous opportunity came up. There was a call for proposals at City College to have a cafe operation, and I put in a proposal. I interviewed with a panel of people from that school. We brought them samples. There were students, there was staff and faculty, and we persuaded them that we were the best company for that opportunity, and they chose us. It was a really great opportunity, and so from there, needed the money. So at this point, you know, my home is underwater, and but you know, we could afford our payments. Our first business is profitable. We've got a great track record. We've done a lot of really innovative things at Gorilla Cafe. Like in 2008, we started doing pop-up restaurants, which is sort of very, very popular concept now, but it was very early on, and that was a pretty rare thing at that point. We hosted, and for those of you who aren't hip to the pop-ups, it's basically when you host another organization, a restaurant inside your space. We were really successful at breakfast and lunch. And then we finally, you know, it was like a 2-year battle, 2.5-year battle to get just a beer wine license. They didn't want to give a beer wine license to someone called Gorilla Cafe. Anyway, so then we put in this piece of our plan, which was to sort of have small plates and wine and beer in the evening. But after breakfast and lunch and cleanup, we were just too wiped out, trying to trying to switch the vibe over to a nighttime spot. It was just sort of hit and miss, so we just decided to, you know what, let's just do what we do well and keep it there. Then a couple years ago, we had like I said, we hosted a bunch of pop-up restaurants. A couple years ago, we hosted a colleague, friend of mine, Nigel Jones, and his company, Kingston 11. They do Jamaican food. And they tried it a weekend, then they tried it another Friday, and these guys were hungry, and they came every Friday. And this went on for a year, then they expanded to Friday and Saturday. It was great for us because those hours were closed, right? So now we're getting revenue. They're drawing a whole new audience of people into our space that are now familiar with our space. They're coming back for breakfast the next day, and it was just a win-win situation. For Kingston 11 Jamaican food, they were able to give the community, like entire East Bay, amazing, there's really little or no Jamaican food available. So they filled a niche. And you know, so it was such a win-win situation. They were able to build an audience, test their concept, and you know, we both got a lot of recognition in the press for that. So going forward, we've gotten, you know, just on our own right, you know, we got a lot of good reviews, good critiques of our food and our plan, and there's probably a line outside of the cafe as we speak. Weekends are really good for us, so we give thanks for that. When this opportunity came up in San Francisco, I thought, well, with this track record, I've got decent credit, you know, I've got a work ethic, I've got a proven concept. City College, I'm already serving Cal Berkeley students, and I have an exclusive contract to sell coffee on a college campus. I mean, it was a no-brainer. So I thought this would, you know, be really a shoo-in to get funding for this. Then, so that was a rude awakening to cut to the chase there, and what I found was even the bank, a big local bank that I had been with for a long time, 20 years actually. And when I go in there, they are so nice to me. They're always so nice. They ask about my weekend or what my plans, and they want to come and visit and eat waffles at our cafe. But so when this opportunity came up, I thought I'd give them the first shot. And I was like, how could they say no? No. They made it really simple. They made it quite simple. And not only that, but you know, I had a business plan. It wasn't just an opportunity and a track record. I worked with the San Francisco Small Business Development Center to put together a business plan. And that took, you know, a while. We worked at it weekly. I worked with Charles and Gabriella and Tom over there. They all did a great job. Charles helped me with my business plan. He would interrogate every assumption I had, help me sort of document it in a really great way. Worked with Tom to put the financial projections together. I mean, and these people just live and breathe for this kind of stuff. They are just geeks at what they do in the best kind of way. I mean, Tom had these spreadsheets and models that projected out what I was going to be doing 20 years from now. And, you know, and I just, you know, didn't really have the experience to have those numbers. And then when they, you know, when I was all fit with that boot camp and finished all that up, then I got to finally meet Gabriella. She's the one that introduces you to the money people. And, you know, so you know, the first folks we went to, that didn't work out either. She said, well, there's a place in Southern California. I was like, wow, really? We have to go to Southern California to get some money? So they introduced us at VEDC, and you know, eventually, you know, they put us on the path to getting some funding. It was about half of what we needed. I found some private investment somewhere else. That's a whole nother adventure. But you know, it all came together, and I think what VEDC did so well was, you know, they just really held, they did their due diligence. So that wasn't easy money either. They did their due diligence, I'm telling you. So we, you know, signed over the health insurance, you know, put my mom's house, you know, collateralized that. I mean, you know, so, and I appreciate that, you know, so this whole economic catastrophe that this nation had around a lot of the lending and stuff, the pendulum had swung so far to the right where they were just giving people money that could in no way, you know, afford to pay it back. You know, and then swing all the way to the far side, and that's kind of right where I needed it, where they just, you know, it was really, really tough. So, so we opened over the summer, and I really appreciated your comments about having all your ducks lined up, your permits, your this, you know, everything in a row. And, you know, so we did have some challenges. I made some mistakes early on. It cost me. So, yeah, have your licensing ready, have your permits ready, have your architect, you know, have really everything in place ahead of time. Have your plan solid. It will save you money, and that's the truth. So really, I had really one importantly, I wanted to share this. When I got turned down by a couple of banks for this loan, and I just really, I mean, this was, you know, what I realized was a really successful, a really sweet opportunity. And I thought, well, if they're refusing me the financing to open this business, which is 15, 16 jobs off the bat, let alone the bakeries and the towel service and all the different businesses that we'll be supporting, I just magnified that around the country and thought all the businesses that are not starting up, that are really, you know, great concepts, great people, that realize that's what the problem is. You know, that's what's going on. It's a huge problem. So I'd like to, so anyway, so things are going great. It's Chasing Lights, we opened up August 15th. We met our projections on week 2. We're serving 500 people a day. You know, we're trying to get that average ticket up, you know, about $1, $1.50. And, you know, so it's really those things. And I'm sure Tom Camarado would be very proud of me. But it's those things. So we're doing well. But I hope the pendulum has come back to some sort of reasonable place where, you know, so you don't only look at the person's collateral. Because if we're only basing our future on entrepreneurs' collateral, we're going to miss it. We're going to miss it. Please evaluate the opportunity, evaluate that person's work history, right? I changed the name from Gorilla to Chasing Lions. So they're like, no, this is not an expansion of your business. You're just starting a brand new startup. So I didn't get any credit for the business I had established. I was running, and it was going right, you know, and going really well. I got no credit for that. I was just like a Joe Schmo off the street trying to start up a business, and we all know that every restaurant closes after 2 days or whatever it is. So if there's any lenders in here that want to use their common sense, I say talk to this man, Nigel Jones. Raise your hand, Nigel, please. So this Nigel Jones, he's from Kingston 11. They started the pop-up. They did it for a year. They got rave reviews. They got the concept proven. Now they've signed a lease in uptown Oakland, which is a booming area. And it's in the heart of the best location. So talk to this man, give him some money. He needs the money. He needs it now. He signed the lease, right? So, you know, I don't think he's a homeowner, but just use your common sense. Get this man some money. I found some new opportunities on City College for delivery service. We're going to be delivering. There hasn't been a new food service on that campus for like over 10 years before we got there. So I think a lot of people are very complacent. I got there, and the thing about a college campus is it's very dynamic. It's not just a residential or sort of cafe environment. There's all sorts of opportunities for delivery. We started so I became a student. I started taking classes there. So I kind of get a little more acquainted with what's going on. We started a coffee roasting club, right? So now I'm a student. I'm going to take full advantage of that and tie those opportunities in. So I'd like to expand my business. I need some more money. VEDC, I'll talk to you first.